What makes one person, in quotes, more creative than another? I think we're all creative. It's just I was given this something, I guess, some arrogance and self-confidence that I'm able to articulate it, that I'm going to do this, it's going to be fucking good. I'm very disciplined. I think you have to be disciplined. I mean, I know there's people who sometimes can do it different ways where they just vomit it out in 3 weeks or whatever, but this is the way I have to do it. That's my process. It's just, in a good way, a job. I look forward to it. Normal day is, for me, I'll get up 5:30 or so, and I go take a walk, get some exercise, and then I'll start probably by 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then I'll work till like noon. That's about it. I can only do about 4 hours creatively, and then I'll start again at night. And if I'm up against it, I'll write till the middle of the night usually. If I have a thing I've left from the night before that I'm excited about, I can't wait to get till the next morning because it's just sitting there. I know I've solved that problem. I never liked going to an office. I actually had an office that the studio was generous enough to give me, and I went in once, and I had it for like 3 years. I never went in, and the poor girl was so lonely in there. I always start at page 1 every day because I think it's a series of, I call it like erosion. You have to keep refilling, and I think you're always improving it that way. I work on an old computer program that's not in existence anymore, that I've just half superstition and half fear changed. So here comes, this is the DOS program kicking in. So now I'm in DOS, and there's nobody can get on the internet and get this. I have to give them a hard copy. They have to scan it and then put it in their computers, and then I work through their computer because you can't email mine or anything. And you can't get into the program except for just where it is. It has 40 pages, and it runs out of memory. But I like it because it makes you make acts. So if I haven't said it in 40 pages, I'm starting to get in trouble, I realize after a while, the studios or whoever you're writing it for, they get enraged at you for being late. And then they kind of forget about it. So they go through these, I called it, stages of death. They get grieved, they get angry, then they grieve. And then they come, eventually there's some acceptance, and the truth is that eventually they forget about it and they move on with their lives, and they get it. And if it's good, they're happy, and if it's not good, they're not happy. It's like bad to be slow and unproducible, but it's not so bad to be slow and producible. So I'm mostly interested, usually I choose the things I do as to what the theme of the piece is, as to what will resonate from it, what will have something hopefully that lasts. I think they come from, I'm a big reader, voracious kind of reader. I read like 3 books a week, so I get all these sort of bombarded by things, that some things stick, some things don't. It makes me feel full. I had a dream about the moon and that exact image, about that astronaut with that rover. And I woke up and I came in, and like in the middle of the night, I went on the NASA and bought this signed autographed photograph from them to send to me. I woke up the next morning, he had died that night, that astronaut. And there was no reason. I hadn't had anything about the moon or anything. Is that weird? That one was weird to me. The subject matter is always probably first to me, and then the characters and how the characters then relate to the theme of the piece. Many years ago, I did some rewriting for Michael Cimino, and I wrote a script for Michael Cimino, and Mickey Rourke showed me this wallet that Michael Cimino had prepared for him that had everything that this character would have, a driver's license, plus family pictures of people, but people you're never going to see or anything, and his draft card, everything else. But I thought that's pretty accurate about what a good writer should be. He should know all those things about that person's life if you never use them, and every character in your piece as best you can, and psychologically also. I start believing these people are real, in a good way. I mean, I'm not building castles in the sky, I'm moving in them particularly, but the fun part of writing, obviously, is finding out along the way who the people. I know he had a wife, and he had children, the wife died. I mean, whatever is his life story start populate it, No writer's block, never had it. If I do find I'm sort of like seemingly not going anywhere or something, and I change the weather. I make it like rain, and all of a sudden you have a different point of view of the scene. It's raining out, and all of a sudden it feels different, The truth is, if I was going to really analyze myself, I'm probably a frustrated novelist, but never had the guts to write a novel. I think also that I've always, at least when I grew up, movies were the cultural center of the universe. I would do it, I really would do it anyways. I mean, I did it when I didn't have 2 cents, and I loved that same, corny, trite thing, sitting in the dark room with this thing that's bigger than life, and how those things can stay with you in some really tremendously primal way.